Every morning, Jorge adjusted his tie carefully before entering Café de la Plaza in Sucre, where the smell of coffee and warm empanadas filled the air. The mirror always showed the same thing: confidence, charm, control. But beneath the polished smile lived a man terrified of being exposed. At his usual table, Maria, the timid waitress, nervously poured his coffee. Her hands trembled, spilling sugar across the table. Jorge smirked. "Careful, Maria. Too much sugar leads to a heart attack," she apologized quietly while wiping the mess away, but Jorge barely noticed the embarrassment in her eyes. To him, people existed like pieces on a chessboard, useful only when they served a purpose. One night, while laughter and cheap music echoed through the cafe, Jorge overheard a couple arguing nearby. "You can't just disappear like that, Carla," the man shouted. Carla left in tears. Jorge laughed into his drink, amused by the chaos around him, convinced other people's pain was entertainment instead of something real. Then his cousin Santiago leaned closer and said quietly, "Why are you so comfortable lying to everyone?" Jorge scoffed, but the words stayed with him. Weeks later, Santiago confronted him again in the empty cafe. "You treat kindness like weakness," he said. "Maria doesn't need your jokes. She needs respect." For the first time, Jorge felt something crack beneath his confidence. That same night, while pretending to write emails about helping local charities, he glanced up and saw Maria quietly knitting a tiny sweater during her break. She smiled softly to herself, every stitch filled with care and love, and suddenly Jorge realized how empty his own life felt. Years later, guilt finally caught up with him. One cold morning, he silently left bread and blankets outside Maria's apartment door before walking away unnoticed. Children laughed somewhere down the street as the city came alive around him. Jorge lowered his head and whispered, "Maybe I should have chosen the truth sooner." But by then, the echoes of who he used to be were already following him home.